What if I told you losing your erections after 60 is not normal? And it's not because you're getting old. I've seen too many men quietly accept the idea that their best years are behind them, that the fire is gone, that intimacy is something they're supposed to let go of. And deep down, that fear cuts deeper than most will ever admit. Because it's not just about sex, it's about identity, confidence, and feeling like yourself again. I'm Dr. James, a urologist with over 30 years of experience, and I can tell you this with absolute certainty. What you're experiencing is often not aging, but a slow breakdown in blood flow, declining testosterone, and daily habits that are silently working against your body. The good news? Your body still remembers how to respond. Sometimes, one small change, something as simple as what you eat each day, can begin to restore what you thought was lost. In today's video, I'm going to show you exactly what to remove and what to replace it with. And the first one may shock you because it's probably sitting in your kitchen right now. Let's start with peanuts. 1. Peanuts, the hidden hormone disruptor. Let me start with something that surprises almost every man I speak to. The snack you trust the most may be quietly working against you. Peanuts sit in kitchens everywhere. They feel safe, familiar, even healthy. But for men over 60, they can become a hidden trigger that slowly chips away at your strength, your circulation, and your confidence. Here's why this matters. Your erections depend on one simple thing: healthy blood flow, supported by balanced testosterone. But peanuts, especially the non-organic and processed kind, are highly prone to mold toxins called aflatoxins. You don't see them, you don't taste them, but over time, they increase inflammation in your body, disrupt your hormone balance, and interfere with nitric oxide, the very signal that allows blood vessels to relax and fill properly. When that signal weakens, everything else follows. Blood flow slows down, erections become softer, harder to maintain. You may notice less desire, more fatigue, even more frequent trips to the bathroom at night as your prostate becomes irritated. I remember a patient named Richard, 69 years old, a quiet man, disciplined. Every evening, he had a bowl of roasted peanuts while watching TV. He told me, "Doctor, I don't feel like myself anymore." His erections had become unreliable. His energy was fading. And what hurt him most was the growing distance between him and his wife, not because of love, but because of confidence. We didn't start with medication. We started simple. We removed peanuts from his routine and replaced them with cleaner, hormone-supportive foods. Within a few weeks, his sleep improved. His body felt lighter. And one morning, he told me something with a smile I won't forget. It's coming back. Listen, this is not about blaming one food. It's about understanding how small, daily habits affect your body over time. At your age, your system is more sensitive. What you eat either supports your hormones, or slowly drains them. The good news? This is not permanent. Your body can recover. Start by cutting out peanuts for the next 2 to 3 weeks. Give your system a break. Replace them with better options we'll talk about shortly. Small change, real impact. And if you think peanuts are the only healthy snack causing this kind of silent damage, wait until you hear what the next one is doing to your blood sugar and testosterone. 2. Cashews, the silent blood sugar spike. Now here's another one that catches men off guard, because it doesn't feel dangerous at all. Cashews are soft, mild, easy to eat. Many of my patients tell me, "Doctor, I switched to cashews because they're healthy." But what they don't realize is that for men over 60, cashews can quietly push your body in the wrong direction. Let me explain this simply. Your body runs on balance. When you eat foods that spike your blood sugar quickly, your body releases insulin to bring it down. That's normal. But here's the problem. When insulin goes up too often, testosterone tends to go down, and testosterone is not just about desire. It fuels your energy, supports your mood, and plays a key role in maintaining strong, consistent erections. At the same time, frequent blood sugar spikes can damage your blood vessels, making it harder for nitric oxide to do its job. And without that signal, blood flow becomes weaker, slower, less reliable. This is when men start noticing the changes: erections that don't last, less interest in intimacy. That heavy, tired feeling during the day, even waking up multiple times at night because your system is out of sync. I had a patient, Michael, 71, a good man. He took care of himself, or at least he thought he did. Every morning, he had a handful of cashews with his coffee. It became a habit. But over time, he felt something slipping. He told me, "I don't feel sharp anymore, and I don't feel like a man in the same way." There was no major illness, just small, steady decline. We made a simple adjustment. We reduced his cashews and focused on stabilizing his blood sugar. A few weeks later, he came back. Clearer eyes, stronger voice. He said, "Something's waking up again." Listen carefully. This is not about fear, it's about direction. After 60, your body becomes less forgiving to sugar spikes, even from foods that seem harmless. So here's what I want you to do. Cut back on cashews, especially in the morning or on an empty stomach. Pair your snacks with protein or switch to better options we'll discuss soon. Give your body stability, and it will respond. And if you think the issue is just sugar, the next one may surprise you even more, because it's not about sweetness at all. It's about how your blood vessels are being damaged without you even knowing it. 3. Salted roasted nuts, the blood vessel blocker. Now this one is the most deceptive because it looks like the safe option. A mix of nuts, crunchy, flavorful, sitting right there on your table or in a jar. But for men over 60, salted roasted nuts can quietly damage the very system your erections depend on, your blood vessels. Let me break this down in a simple way. An erection is not just about desire, it's a blood flow event. Your body releases nitric oxide, your blood vessels relax, and blood flows where it needs to go. But when those vessels become stiff, inflamed, or damaged, that process weakens. And here's the problem. Most roasted nuts are cooked at very high temperatures in processed oils. This creates harmful compounds that irritate your blood vessels from the inside. Add excess salt. And now your blood pressure rises, circulation becomes less efficient, and even your prostate can become more sensitive. This is when symptoms start creeping in. Erections that fade too quickly, less firmness, more fatigue, and that frustrating pattern of waking up at night to urinate over and over again. I remember a patient, Thomas, 74. Every evening, he had his routine, a handful of salted mixed nuts while watching television. It felt harmless, comforting even. But he came to me with a quiet frustration. He said, "Doctor, I feel like I'm disappearing." His confidence was slipping. His relationship with his wife had become distant, not from lack of love, but from hesitation. We made one small change. We removed those nightly snacks and replaced them with raw, unprocessed alternatives. A few weeks later, he told me, "I didn't expect this, but I feel stronger again." Listen, this isn't about giving up everything you enjoy. It's about removing what's silently holding you back. Your body is still capable. It just needs the right environment. Start simple. Avoid salted, heavily roasted nuts. Choose raw or lightly dried options. Reduce the salt. Give your blood vessels a chance to recover. Because what you remove is only half the story. What you add next can rebuild what's been lost. And the first one I recommend to almost every man over 60 might be the most powerful of them all. 4. Pumpkin seeds, the prostate protector. Now let's shift gears, because this is where hope begins. There's one simple food I recommend to almost every man over 60, especially those struggling with frequent urination, weak flow, or fading performance. And it's something most people overlook completely. Pumpkin seeds. Here's why they matter so much. Your prostate sits just below your bladder, and as you age, it can become enlarged or inflamed. When that happens, it presses against your urinary tract, causing that constant urge to urinate, especially at night. But it also affects something deeper. A stressed prostate can interfere with nerve signals and blood flow, both of which are essential for strong, stable erections. Pumpkin seeds are rich in zinc, a mineral your body desperately needs to produce testosterone and maintain prostate health. They also contain natural compounds that help reduce inflammation and support smoother urinary flow. This is where men start to notice real changes. Fewer trips to the bathroom at night, better sleep, more energy during the day, and, slowly, stronger, more reliable erections. I had a patient, Walter, 72. He came to me exhausted, waking up 4, sometimes 5 times a night. He felt drained, irritable, and disconnected from his own body. Intimacy had become something he avoided, not because he didn't care, but because he didn't trust his body anymore. We didn't do anything complicated. I simply asked him to start eating a small handful of pumpkin seeds each day. That's it. A few weeks later, he came back and said, "Doctor, I finally slept through the night." And with that sleep, everything else began to return. Listen, this is not about quick fixes. It's about giving your body what it's been missing, and even after 60, your body can respond faster than you think. Start simple. 1 tablespoon of pumpkin seeds daily, raw, unsalted, consistent. Because once your foundation is supported, the next step is restoring the flow itself. And the next nut I'm about to show you does exactly that. It helps your blood move the way it used to. 5. Walnuts, the circulation restorer. Now this is where things start to come back to life. Because if there's one thing your body needs to restore performance, it's blood flow, not force, not stimulation, flow. And walnuts are one of the simplest ways to help your body get there again. Here's the key idea. Your erections depend on how well your blood vessels open and respond. That process is controlled by something called nitric oxide, a natural signal in your body that tells vessels to relax and allow blood to move freely. But as men age, inflammation builds up. Blood vessels become stiff, narrow, less responsive. And when that happens, erections become weaker, slower, and harder to maintain. Walnuts are rich in omega-3 fatty acids, which help reduce that inflammation and improve the flexibility of your blood vessels. In simple terms, they help your body open up again. This is when men begin to notice the shift. Better morning erections, more consistent firmness, more stamina, and just as important, a return of confidence. I remember a patient named Edward, 73. He told me something I hear far too often. "Doctor, it's not completely gone, but it's not reliable anymore." That uncertainty was affecting him deeply. He started to withdraw, even from simple moments of closeness with his wife. We added a small daily habit, just a handful of walnuts, nothing extreme. Within a few weeks, he came back with a different energy. He smiled and said, "It's not perfect, but it's coming back." And that is where confidence begins. Listen, your body doesn't lose this ability overnight. It fades slowly, which means it can return, step by step. Start simple. A small handful of walnuts each day, preferably raw or lightly dried. Stay consistent. Because once your blood flow improves, the next step is protecting the very source of your energy and drive. And the final nut I'm about to show you does something powerful. It helps defend your testosterone at the cellular level. 6. Brazil nuts, the testosterone defender. Now this is the one I tell almost every man not to overlook. Because sometimes it's not just about improving blood flow, it's about protecting what's left of your testosterone. And Brazil nuts do exactly that, in a way most men never expect. Let me explain this simply. Testosterone doesn't just disappear with age. It gets worn down by stress, by poor nutrition, by oxidative damage inside your body. And when testosterone drops, everything changes. Your desire fades, your energy dips, erections become less responsive, less reliable. Even your mood shifts. Brazil nuts are one of the richest natural sources of selenium, a powerful mineral that helps protect the cells responsible for producing testosterone. Think of it like a shield, guarding your body from the slow damage that weakens your hormonal system over time. This is when men begin to feel the difference. Not overnight, but steadily. More energy in the morning, a clearer mind, a stronger sense of drive returning. I remember a patient named Leonard, 70. He didn't come in complaining about erections at first. He said, "Doctor, I just feel flat. No motivation, no spark." And over time, that feeling started affecting his relationship. He became distant, quiet, unsure of himself. We added something incredibly simple, just 1 to 2 Brazil nuts a day. That was it. A few weeks later, he came back and said, "I don't know how to explain it, but I feel more like myself again." And that is where everything begins. Listen, your body still has the ability to produce what you need. It just needs support, the right nutrients, the right signals. Start small. 1 or 2 Brazil nuts daily, no more than that. Consistency matters more than quantity. Because now you've seen both sides, what to avoid and what to add. But here's the truth most men miss. Even the right foods won't work if you're making one critical mistake every single day. And in the next part, I'm going to show you what that mistake is and how to fix it. 7. The biggest mistake: relying on pills while ignoring blood flow. Let me be very direct with you. This is the mistake I see more than anything else. Men come into my office hoping for a quick fix, a pill, a shortcut, something to bring everything back overnight. And while those options can help in certain cases, they don't fix the real problem. Because the real issue, most of the time, is not just performance. It's poor blood flow and declining internal support. Here's what's happening inside your body. An erection is not something you force. It's something your body allows. When blood flows freely, when nitric oxide signals properly, and when your hormones are in balance. But if your blood vessels are stiff, if your circulation is weak, if your body is inflamed from years of small habits, no pill can fully restore what's missing. It might create a moment, but it won't rebuild the system. This is when men feel frustrated. Erections that depend on timing, results that feel inconsistent, a growing sense of doubt, less desire, more fatigue. Even more frequent urination because the underlying issues, like prostate stress and poor circulation, are still there. I remember a patient named Samuel, 74. He looked at me and said, "Doctor, I don't want to rely on something for the rest of my life." He had tried medications. Sometimes they worked. Sometimes they didn't. But what bothered him most was that he didn't feel in control anymore. We shifted his focus, not to replacing the pill immediately, but to rebuilding his foundation, better circulation, better habits, simple daily changes. A few weeks later, he said something powerful. "I feel like my body is starting to respond on its own again." Listen, this is the part most men never hear. Your body still wants to work, even after 60, but it needs the right conditions. Start with one simple habit. Every morning, drink a full glass of water, then move your body, a short walk, even 10 minutes. This improves circulation, activates nitric oxide, and signals your body to wake up. Combine that with the right foods you've learned today, and you begin to rebuild from the inside. Because this is not about quick fixes, it's about taking your power back. And in the final part, I want to bring everything together for you so you can move forward with clarity, confidence, and control. 8. Conclusion: reclaiming strength, one choice at a time. There comes a point in every man's life when the body begins to whisper, not loudly, not suddenly, but consistently. Less energy, less drive, less certainty in moments that once felt natural. And many men over 60 are told this is simply aging, that decline is inevitable. But what you've seen today tells a different story. The body does not fail overnight. It adapts, slowly, quietly, to the choices you repeat every day. Your prostate, your blood flow, your testosterone, they are not separate problems. They are deeply connected. When one begins to weaken, the others follow. But the opposite is also true. When you support one, you begin to restore the whole system. That is the deeper message here. Not perfection, not drastic change, but awareness and adjustment. Think about where you could be 1 year from now. If nothing changes, the same patterns continue, the same symptoms deepen. More fatigue, less confidence. More distance from the life you once felt connected to. But if you begin now, small changes, consistent habits, your body can respond in ways that may surprise you. In 3 to 5 years, you're not just maintaining, you're protecting your independence, your identity, your sense of self. This is about more than performance. It's about dignity. It's about waking up and feeling like you again. So take what you've learned and act on it. One decision, one habit, one step forward. Because your best years are not behind you. They are waiting for you to reclaim them.